up, guys? Boy Benny. Donald Trump has survived a lot of assassinations. He's survived a political assassination. He's survived impeachment assassination. He's survived a literal assassination with a bullet through his ear. And now President Trump has survived a legal assassination. And it keeps getting better. Donald Trump might as well bust out the old ear bandage for this one, because one of the most dangerous and scary lawsuits against the president has now been completely thrown into the incinerator, breaking Tanya Chutkan. Judge Chutkan's order denying Donald Trump immunity in the January 6th case has officially been vacated after Supreme Court ruling. Oh my, oh my. What happens here? It is further ordered that the petitioner, Donald Trump, recover from the United States $3,000. I love it. The January 6th case against 2024 presidential candidate Donald Trump has officially been set back down to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia for further proceedings, coming after the Supreme Court ruled in July that the president have immunity from official acts. On the consideration whereof, it is ordered, adjudicated by this court, that the judgment of the above court is vacated with costs, and the case is remanded to the United States Court of Appeals. So what this means is that it's official, says our dear friend Julie Kelly. SCOTUS ruling in Trump the U.S. sent back to the U.S. Appellate Court. Both the circuit opinion and Judge Chutkan's order denying presidential immunity from prosecution is vacated. Oh boy. Julie Kelly going in. One of our favorite reporters on God's green earth. President Trump gets his money back too. Trump gets $3,000 back. Look at that. The printing of joint appendix, clerk's fee, and total of $3,232. This is so awesome. I hope Trump takes that check and just frames it. So what does this mean? This means that what they tried to do with President Trump was to shove him into sort of a torture box, kill box, so to speak, and say that you're not allowed to argue any presidential immunity in this case. The case they're bringing against Donald Trump is this January 6th case in Washington, D.C. that Donald Trump incited a riot. No BLM people charged, no Antifa people charged ever in Washington, D.C. None of the people who deface or desecrate the monuments, the Hamas holes who block traffic and harass members of Congress and desecrate their monuments. None of those people ever charged. Donald Trump charged for saying march peacefully and then saying respect our police and then saying everyone go home. And Donald Trump gets charged for that? How exactly can you do that? But also, was Donald Trump in the midst of an official presidential act there? Well, if he's president, which he was, and he was acting as president, which he was, Donald Trump was speaking in front of the White House with a full Secret Service detail and the presidential podium, the presidential seal on it, well then, seems like this is going to be, the entire thing is going to be presidential immunity, right? So that case now is sayonara. Supreme Court ruled 6-3 on July 1 that a former president does have absolute immunity for his core constitutional powers, though not for unofficial acts. I don't know how this would be unofficial. The president's talking about an election where he was the candidate. That seems like as official as you can possibly get. The opinion reads that the lower court will have to determine whether the prosecution involving Trump's attempts to influence the vice president's oversight of the certification proceeding in the capacity of the president and the Senate would pose any dangers of intrusion on the authority and functions of the executive branch. The opinion stated that Trump enjoys no immunity for his unofficial acts. This comes at the heels of Jack Smith getting his ass kicked at Mar-a-Lago. Jack Smith, effectively, has been thrown directly into the trash compactor because Judge Cannon, down with the Mar-a-Lago proceeding, which is probably the scariest proceeding for President Trump as it pertains to him having classified documents. Now, we all know how complete that all is, because Joe Biden was just dripping in classified documents and was doing far worse things with them, like selling them for money. This is what Joe Biden did. Joe Biden took classified documents, shared them all with the guy writing his book, and then made $8 million off it. So who's worse, right? Donald Trump holding love letters from Kim Jong-un. The whole thing's insane, but we already know that. The whole thing was to stop President Trump from running for president, and now they're all falling apart. However, just 2 weeks after the Supreme Court decision, the case was thrown out by Judge Eileen Cannon, who stated in order that Jack Smith's appointment to special counsel violated the Constitution. So the point of that is that Jack Smith didn't go through Senate confirmation, can't be a special counsel, wasn't actually working for the DOJ. So Jack Smith isn't real. And Jack Smith's the one bringing all these charges against Donald Trump. So so now you're facing a real problem. Because then what's going to happen is all of Jack Smith's charges going to be thrown away. An amazing moment here. This getting insane pickup, 500,000 views, 12,000 likes, 5,000 reposts. As expected, DC appellate panel kicks immunity question back to Judge Chutkan. So now this Obama judge, this like vicious Obama judge that hates Donald Trump, is going to have to eat crow. Donald Trump can't stop winning, people are saying online. Judge Chutkan must now make a decision as to whether the actions of Trump are being charged with are official acts covered by immunity. They are. Yeah, you're going to... Great time arguing that one. You're going to have a toe, baby. And the eyes of the world are, of course, on the judge. And so what she determines here is going to be... well, she's going to be fighting upstream, let's just say. She's going to be fighting up against the Supreme Court. So good luck with that. Oh, yes, baby. It was all a plot, obviously. Remember that infamous photo from Mar-a-Lago? The FBI staged it. And Kyle Becker going through, goodness gracious, what a long post. Going through a very long post, but TLDR, this famous photograph, was all staged. Investigative team used classified cover sheets for that purpose. The FBI ran out because there were so many different classified documents, at which point the team began using blank sheets, handwritten notes, identifying classified documents. The investigative team seized any box that was found that contained documents classification. They didn't keep them in order. They threw them on the ground. They tampered with the evidence. They put cover images on pieces of evidence. They had no idea what they were. Frickin' what a nightmare. None of this stuff's going to go through. It's all going to be glorious, and we'll fix it all when President Trump gets his own DOJ. And who do we want in charge of that? The Viceroy, Mike Davis. We spoke with Mike Davis at the RNC convention just a week or so ago, and he had some wonderful predictions for us about what's going to happen next. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
We'll be talking about Judge Eileen Cannon throwing the classified documents case into the trash compactor, and then the inferno, the internal inferno combustion, mechanism, and that was glorious. You predicted that would happen. One of the few legal scholars who did. Yeah. But there's been so much wonderful news that that was somehow swept under the rug on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, Judge Cannon correctly ruled that if you want to prosecute the former president of the United States, you have to do it by following the Constitution. You can't just create by fiat an office of the United States and give this office unlimited power, essentially an unlimited budget, and think that's constitutional. It violates the appropriations clause and it violates the appointment clause. And so Judge Cannon, who has the backbone to do this, I love these Republican appointed judges who are women and minorities because they have backbones of steel because they take so much crap from the left for being conservative. So Judge Cannon followed the Constitution. She followed Justice Thomas's opinion in the presidential immunity case, and she correctly threw out the indictment against President Trump down in Florida. If President Biden and Merrick Garland want to prosecute him again, do it through your U.S. attorney down in the Southern District of Florida, and do it through your normal appropriation from Congress.
Yes, and now what does that mean for Jack Smith? I mean, what does that mean for these other cases? I mean, this is unbelievable. This is humiliating, right?
Yeah. Jack Smith is a serial loser. He keeps getting crushed at every step. He got reversed 8-0. It would have been 9-0, but Justice Scalia died when Jack Smith was the political Scud missile sent to take out former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell. And then he got banished to The Hague, and he was a war crimes prosecutor. His wife was producing documentaries for Barack and Michelle Obama, and then Joe Biden and Merrick Garland brought back this political Scud missile to try to take out President Trump, and it blew up in Joe Biden's face.